Moses, a towering figure in religious history, is often depicted as a masterful leader who guided the Israelites out of Egypt. But one question that piques the curiosity of many is, was Moses truly fluent in speech? Let's venture into myths and facts surrounding this intriguing topic. Our journey begins with biblical accounts, where Moses' eloquence, or lack thereof, is first put into question. In the book of Exodus, when God calls upon Moses from the burning bush to lead his people to freedom, Moses hesitates, citing his own perceived inadequacy in speech. He insists, "I am not eloquent, neither before nor since you have spoken to your servant, but I am slow of speech and slow of tongue." This self-assessment has fueled centuries of debate over the possible meaning behind his words. Some interpret this as Moses' awareness of a speech impediment, possibly stuttering. This perspective is bolstered by how Moses consistently expresses reluctance to speak publicly, eventually prompting God to appoint Aaron, his brother, as his spokesperson. Critics, however, suggest this might simply reflect Moses' humility or modesty, rather than any actual deficiency in speech. Another noteworthy point is Moses' upbringing. Adopted by the Pharaoh's daughter, Moses was raised in the Egyptian royal household, undoubtedly receiving the finest education of the time. This background would suggest he was well-versed in the art of rhetoric, likely fluent in Egyptian and perhaps Hebrew, bridging cultural and linguistic divides. Some biblical scholars argue that Moses' reference to being slow of speech could imply a discomfort with the Hebrew language, given his Egyptian roots. This shifts the narrative from a focus on speech impediments to an exploration of bilingual fluency. Delving into the realms of religious interpretation, some say this narrative highlights a broader theme, the empowerment of the unlikely leader. By emphasizing Moses' perceived flaws, the story underscores divine intervention, where human limitations are overcome through faith and divine support. In conclusion, while questions about Moses' fluency in speech endure, viewing them through different lenses sheds light on diverse interpretations, from linguistic challenges to expressions of humility, and even the profound religious narrative of divine aid. What ultimately emerges is a complex portrait of Moses, a leader whose significance transcends his speaking abilities, emphasizing his pivotal role in spiritual history. In the constant dialogue between myth and fact, Moses remains a compelling figure whose legacy continues to resonate deeply across cultures and centuries.